So under this Unit 4 Science and Technology, in lesson that is a reading, the fun they had, in that we have some interesting grammar over here, and remaining all are fill in the blanks and finding out some other words, adjectives and all these things that you can do it by yourself. But this grammar part, what we are going to learn now, that is, they turned the pages, once again, they turned the pages which were yellow and crinkly. Second sentence, it was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to be on a on a screen. So these are the two sentences wherein we have two parts in each of these things. What are these two parts? They turn the pages. Second part is which were yellow in crinkly. If we study these two parts of the single sentence, what do we understand? That is, we have two clauses here. One is, as already we learned, the main clause. Main clause means the clause which doesn't depend on other part of the sentence, but it gives support to the other part. It is the main part and gives support to the other part. That is called as main clause. And here in this sentence, which is the main clause? Let us find out. They turned the pages. They turned the pages. It has a full meaning and we need not depend on any other to get the meaning of it. So this is the main clause, right? And the very same thing is also called as principal clause. And what is the second part? If we see the second part, which were yellow and crinkly. Which were yellow and crinkly, this part, what is the purpose of this part? What exactly this part of the sentence does? If we analyze, then we find out this part is describing something. What is the something? The pages. What is pages? They turned the pages. They is the subject, doer. Turned is the verb, we know it. And next, object of the verb is pages. Now we know it, a noun can act as a subject or an object to or of the verb. So pages is the object and so it is a noun, right? And this noun is being described by this part of the sentence. What is that one? Which were yellow and crinkly. This part is describing the noun pages. Now let us just remember in our class 6, class 7, class 5, class 4 down to the class 3, if we see, we had or we have a description, a definition for the word adjective. What was it or what is it? It describes the noun. So this part is describing the noun. So it is adjective. If it is a single word, we can call it as an adjective. But it is not a single word, a string of words, a complete set of words having a verb in it. And so it is a clause. And that clause is said to be adjective clause. Clear? Main clause, that clause, that part of the sentence which can stand independently, which doesn't depend on any other part, which can give the complete meaning, that is called as main clause or principal clause. Now, any part of that sentence, if it is modified by some other string of words, other part of the sentence, if it has to be a clause, that can be a noun clause or adjective clause or adverb clause. That way we can define it. We can classify. Now this clause is describing the object pages. Object pages is a noun, and so it is an adjective clause. But when I say but, there is something else we have to learn for it. What is that? This clause is started with which. Right? That means a clause can be started with who, whose, whom, that, what, and which. These 6 words. And these 6 words, once again, who, whose, whom, what, that, and which. These 6 words are termed as relative pronouns. Why these are relative pronouns? Because these pronouns related to something. These pronouns, they relate something about something. And so these are relative pronouns. Who is running? Is my brother. Means I am relating my brother with running. Using the word who. Whose dress is pink in color? Whose dress is pink in color? Whom I meet often. Whom I meet often. This is not a complete sentence. It depends on some other. But it is started with who, whose, and whom. And so these are also called as relative clauses. These are also called as relative clauses. And relative clauses, they are started with relative pronouns. And they describe the object or the subject or the given sentence. Is it clear now? What is a relative clause? The clause which starts with a relative noun, relative pronoun. And this relative pronoun, and it should be a clause, that is, it should be dependent, it should describe the object or the subject in the main clause, principal clause.